And something that I just saw recently is coming up again and again and again is this issue of chasing the world. And there's something really beautiful about Islam, and maybe this is just a thought for everyone just to think about. The difference between having the dunya and chasing the dunya. I think that is something really, really profound in Islam. What is the difference between having the dunya and chasing it? Because having the dunya, yani what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you from rizq, Allah is Ar-Razzaq, the one who provides. He provides you with not just money, He provides you with your iman, He provides you with your ability to live, He provides you with your body, your health. Everything is from the rizq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provides us with this money. And I really like the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes it in the Quran. وَلَا تُؤْتُوا السُّفَهَاءَ أَمْوَالَكُمُ الَّتِي جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ قِيَامًا. Allah says, don't give the foolish people, meaning people who they're not capable of managing their money well. And the people who they're not able to, spend it wisely. Don't give them the money that Allah has made it a means of your sustenance, a qiyam for you. And ultimately, that's how, after the grace of Allah, there's a roof over your head, right? And that's how, after the grace of Allah, you have the food on your table and so on. It's something which is very valuable, but very, very, very dangerous at the same time. And I just was thinking about the difference in all of the ayat, all of the hadith, the statements of scholars, and what is the difference between having money and chasing money? So think about one hadith. I don't know how many people have heard this hadith. It's a very beautiful hadith, the hadith of Ka'b ibn Malik, that he narrated. The Prophet ﷺ said, مَا ذِئْبَانِ جَائِعَانِ أُرْسِلَ فِي غَنَمٍ بِأَفْسَدَ لَهَا مِنْ حِرْصِ الْمَرْءِ عَلَى الْمَالِ وَالشَّرَفِ لِدِينِهِ أو كما قال. He said, two hungry wolves. This is a proper hadith that paints a picture. Two hungry wolves let loose among a flock of sheep will not cause more damage than loving money, or not loving, let's say hirs, chasing after money and status will do to your religion. And imagine that your religion will be harmed more by having this desire and this hirs and this love of just, I want this dunya and I want to have money, I want to have status, I want to have a position. That will do more harm to your religion than setting two hungry wolves among a flock of sheep. And that is something, when you think about it, you realize what's the word here? The issue is the hirs. Because Allah gives the dunya. I mean, look, there were wealthy Sahaba, right? Radiallahu ta'ala anhum, Uthman ibn Affan, radiallahu anhu, is an example. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was very clear that when He gives you the dunya, it's neither a proof that He loves you or He doesn't. كُلًّا نُمِدُّ هَؤُلَاءِ وَهَؤُلَاءِ مِنْ عَطَاءِ رَبِّكَ. And we give these people, and the righteous people, and we give these people, the people who are not righteous, both of them, we give them from the dunya. And it's not, Allah doesn't, it doesn't prove that He loves you, and it doesn't prove that He doesn't. So why is there a difference? The difference is all to do with this issue of chasing and wanting and craving. And I just saw so many people harmed by this. And the strangest thing is, so many of those people who are craving and chasing actually don't get what they're chasing or craving for. It reminds me of a statement. There's a poet, he said, I would actually write this on. I'm not one for writing quotes on the wall, but if I was to write quotes on the wall, this would definitely be one of my quotes on the wall. He said, إِذَا تَمَنَّيْتُ بِئْتُ اللَّيْلَ مُغْتَبِطًا إِنَّ الْمُنَى رَأْسُ أَمْوَالِ الْمَفَالِيسِ. He said, when I lie awake dreaming, I spend the night in contentment. He said, dreaming is the currency of the bankrupt, or dreaming is the capital of the bankrupt. And you don't have anything, but you lay at night, you close your eyes, you just imagine yourself with this car, this life, this house, and you sleep happy. But you wake up in the morning in the same bed that you were in before, because that's the difference. I mean, that's the person who's chasing something, and it's just, they're chasing a dream that doesn't exist.
Why is this pertinent now? Because you said at the beginning that you've got your ear to the ground and you feel like this is an important discussion to have. Why do you feel that? I
saw so many people, especially, people who are good people, righteous people. But بإذن ta'ala ولا نزكي على الله أحدا. We don't say someone is righteous without knowledge, and only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the reality. But somebody who appears to be someone who is really loves their deen and is really connected to it. And just seeing them day after day, you know, maybe you see missing from the classes. No, what's the matter? And you see this person has fallen into this trap of dreaming about the dunya. And this idea that I'm going to give my time to chasing something here. And when I say chasing, what I mean by dreaming and chasing is there's a difference between doing something and dreaming about something. So that's another difference that we can talk about today. So someone who says, I get up every morning, go to work, and I work hard, yani, mashallah, it's beautiful. Like somebody says, I get up every morning, I go to work, I work hard, I come back, I do my best for my religion. Mashallah, that's beautiful. Like in someone who says, you know, has distanced themselves from Allah because of a dream of this world. And, you know, social media doesn't help in that. You've got, you know, people presenting a lifestyle that really doesn't exist. It really doesn't. And this got me thinking, it's a really sort of reflective sort of, I got in a really sort of pensive and mode, you know, and I started thinking about wealthy people, rich people. And I started thinking about many very, very wealthy people that I know and the differences between them. And the first thing that you can honestly say, Wallahu alam, yani, the first thing you can truly and honestly say is that there's an illusion of something. There's an illusion of happiness that comes with this idea that if I get a large amount of wealth, I'm going to be super happy. And I think that's something that a lot of Muslims kind of realize. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us clearly, فَلَا تَغُرَّنَّكُمُ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا. Don't be fooled by the life of this world.
I read a quote that said, everybody knows that money is not the root of all happiness, but everybody wants to find out for themselves.
Yeah, that's so true. That is so true. And so that's like presenting a life. And then you've got people who you really admire. Why do you admire them? You admire them because of the fact that Allah's opened them a door for khair with what they have. And a true door of khair. Yani Allah has given them, and they are someone that you're allowed to be jealous of. You know the hadith, La hasada illa ala ithnain. There's no jealousy except for two people. The one is the person who's been given wealth and he spends it all day and all night, and he's sadaqat. And one is the person who's been given knowledge, and that person, not only do they act upon that knowledge, but they share that knowledge with others, they spread it, they practice it. So I think that the idea of somebody, Allah has given them a blessing and they're not craving it. They've been given this blessing and they're using it for good. That's a beautiful thing. And that's like having a rich person who is dreaming of being righteous. Yani, Allahumma barik, that is beautiful. Yani, you've got a person who is trying to find khair in what Allah has given them. Like, can you really have a righteous person dreaming of being rich based on that hadith, the hadith of the two hungry wolves? Can you really have somebody who is a person who is in the deen and they haven't maybe been given as much of the dunya as they would like, and they're craving and dreaming every night, not of how they can get closer to Allah, but how they can get a certain type of car or a certain type of lifestyle. And then this starts getting pushed by some students of knowledge as well. You know, people, maybe for example, Allah blesses them with some khair, and then they try to present to people that you can have both, or you can crave both. But reality is you really can't. So for me, I think it's a beautiful thing for someone to have wealth and the dunya that Allah has given them, and even better if it's through their hard work, and that person is striving to do something good with it and come close to Allah. But I really struggle to see someone who hasn't been given it, and that person is not only distancing themselves from Allah to a certain extent, but also now dreaming of something that's not even theirs, like dreaming of having something, craving it, and maybe not even necessarily working for it either. A lot of the time, not even necessarily no hard work involved, just a lot of this idea of lying on the bed and dreaming of things.